WRAL News, your #1 source for local news.
Welcome back. At the top of the newscast, we told you about the decision from the Supreme Court that protects LGBTQ people from job discrimination. And joining us right now via Zoom is employment attorney Laura Noble. Laura, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Tell me just what type of precedent this sets moving forward.
Well, this is a major civil rights decision today. For the first time, the Supreme Court has decided that it is the law of the land that employers cannot discriminate against employees on the basis of their sexual orientation or gender identity.
And this is a landmark ruling, and we're seeing a lot of reaction. We heard from Ellen DeGeneres on Twitter, so many people reacting. What are you hearing?
Well, for the LGBTQ community in North Carolina in particular, this is a major development because North Carolina, unlike other states, doesn't have its own anti-discrimination law. So that folks in that community could only go to federal law, and the federal law wasn't clear about whether it provided them the same protections. Now it's crystal clear that you cannot fire someone or fail to hire them or not promote them simply on the basis of their gender identity or sexual orientation.
And we know that this was, in fact, a split decision. What did we kind of see from the justices with that?
It's very interesting that Justice Gorsuch was the justice who wrote the majority opinion. Obviously, he went through a very contentious appointment process and was supposed to be a more conservative member of the Supreme Court. So it's very interesting that he wrote the opinion. But when you look at it, he's really interpreting the statute. He's interpreting the language because of sex, meaning sexual identity or gender orientation. So that's not so different from a conservative principle.
And really what we're talking about is workplace bias at this point. As an attorney, how often do you see cases like this?
Quite often, and it's been very disheartening to have to tell these potential clients that they're going to have an uphill battle to fight because the law has not been clear on the federal level and because we have no state law protections. Now, ideally, Congress would step in and our legislature would step in and write one very clear, updated, appropriate for 2020 statute that didn't leave anything up in the air and make it unambiguous that this kind of discrimination is not tolerated.
Attorney Laura Noble, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
My pleasure. Thank you.